Our capstone project is Equine Assisted Therapy by Lauren Muller and Catherine Ingram. Our special project is to obtain a therapeutic riding instructor certification through Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship International, also known as PATH.
In doing so, we will be looking at equine assisted activities and therapies, EAAT, or equine assisted therapy. Therapeutic horseback riding is a broad term which includes many elements of recreational horseback riding, such as physical, social, learning, sensory, and psychological goals. Therapeutic horseback riding is only taught by specifically trained riding instructors and their assistants. Exercises are aimed at maintaining balance and proper body postures in different positions and gradually increasing the rider's physical capacities.
Whereas hippotherapy is an individual treatment which uses an interdisciplinary team approach. It must be administered by a licensed health professional such as an OT or SLP. The exercises in hippotherapy focus on improving walking abilities, posture, tone, and mobility. Physical and psychological effects include balance, strength, coordination, muscle tone, joint range of movements, weight bearing, posture, self-confidence, self-esteem, motivation, attention span, spatial awareness, concentration, and expressive verbal skills.
The use of horses in therapy dates back to 1901 when Dame Agnes Hunter used horses in his hospital, called the Orthopedic Hospital in Oswestry, to provide laughter, companionship, and in turn found a restoration in his client's health. Hippotherapy has been used for over 30 years as a treatment for children with cerebral palsy, and research in therapeutic riding and hippotherapy did not begin until the 1960s, but has greatly escalated in the last 10 years.
Populations noted to benefit from equine-assisted therapies include autism spectrum disorder, cerebral palsy, language learning difficulties, as well as typical developing children. For the focus of this presentation, we will be addressing ASD and CP.
Henry Meschke isn't your average horseback rider.
People say, oh, he takes riding lessons. And I say, no, it's not that. I do have a son who takes riding lessons, but what Henry does is therapy.
Henry has cerebral palsy, and he's been coming to Exceptional Equestrians weekly for 10 years to help improve his ability to walk.
I lost track of what the impact was.
But every year, Henry would have to stop his therapy when Exceptional Equestrians would close for the coldest months of the year.
And by February, I'd start to think, boy, it's getting really tight. And then we'd start up again at the end of March or the beginning of April. And within like a couple of sessions, a couple of hours on the horse, I could see that his gait returned and he was right back to where he had been in November.
Now, thanks to recent fundraising efforts, Exceptional Equestrians is open year-round.
We have a brand new facility. We are able to operate year-round because we have heating and insulation.
But the physical benefits aren't the only thing Henry gets out of year-round hippotherapy.
This is something that he can do that's fun. He enjoys it. I'm sure he doesn't even think of it as work or therapy. He enjoys it. As soon as we pull in the driveway here, he's got a big smile on his face. He can't wait to ride.
This is Kyle Bursaw for Press Gazette Media.
What you saw in the video was a personal account of the positive benefits hippotherapy can have on a child experiencing cerebral palsy. The review that I looked at for my project was a meta-analysis studying the effects of hippotherapy and therapeutic riding on posture control and balance with children experiencing cerebral palsy. The meta-analysis looked at 8 quantitative study designs that were reviewed and used for the analysis. The results of the study was that all 8 studies determined equine-assisted therapy proved to improve posture control, balance, daily activities, independency, and quality of life for the children experiencing cerebral palsy. In this study, I found strengths of increased reliability due to the studies being reviewed by 2 completely independent investigators. Multiple methods were also used to assess improvement, before and after horseback riding, which I found to be another strength. In the meta-analysis, I found limitations in the inability to generalize results due to the small sample size of children experiencing cerebral palsy who participated in the studies. The studies also did not include adults experiencing CP, So there is no way to generalize the results to that population. The children that were in the studies also had very different types and severities of CP, which is a big limitation. Range of measurements were inconsistent, whether they were measured in a single measurement or over 6 months. This leads to increased chance or variability.
With disabilities like autism often have physical or emotional problems, but when you put them on a horse, great things can happen, and that is the idea behind a program in the Triad called Horsepower. Charisse Jones finds great joy watching her daughter Claire ride horses.
Well, she really enjoys the horses. She's never been intimidated by large animals. That's not always the case for kids, but you can tell that she likes being on the horses. And
what makes Claire's story unique is she has autism. She stopped talking when she was 3 and has some behavioral problems. But when she joined the Horsepower program, things began to change.
She will give the horse some directions using sign language, and I think it motivates her to do that.
The Horsepower program's goal is to provide kids and adults who have disabilities with a better quality of life.
Everyone has their own goals that they want to achieve, whether it's increased balance, flexibility, mobility. A lot of our kids have autistic tendencies. There's such a higher percentage of autism that's happening right now. And it's to bring people out of their world and into our world by teaching them to communicate and do sign language.
100 children a week are served by the Horsepower program. So what is it about a horse that works so well with kids?
It wants to please us so badly that all we have to do is show a desire. And you just have such a great feeling of accomplishment when you are able to do those things.
Claire's only been riding for a few weeks, but her mom can already see a difference. She has even said a few words.
It's hard to say what in particular has caused it, but we are seeing some progress in her communication.
Her school teacher is noticing those changes as well.
She is showing communication by also using signs. She'll tell the horse to walk and, those types of things so that we know that she is interacting with the horse, and she does interact with the sidewalkers by trying to clap their hands or, so she is doing interactions with other people.
And making her mom very proud. And it is a great program. It relies on donations as well. And tomorrow there's a fundraiser. It's Derby Day. The Kentucky Derby's tomorrow. Yeah. It's from 4:30 until 7. It's at the Bland.
As you saw in the video at Horsepower, riders with autism spectrum disorder can greatly benefit from therapeutic riding. One study that I reviewed was a pilot study measuring the effects of therapeutic horseback riding on school-age children and adolescents with autism spectrum disorder. This study was over 10 weeks of therapeutic riding intervention for 42 children and adolescents with ASD. What this study showed was that there were great improvements in self-regulation, such as irritability, lethargy, stereotypic behaviors, and hyperactivity. These issues are common to children with ASD, so improvements in this category was a great gain. Other improvements were motor skills, and one unexpected component of the study was expressive communication improvement. And this is believed to be due to interactions between child and sidewalkers, as well as the child and horse, when the child would repeat back instructions to the horse. For the analysis of the study, one of the strengths was that there were many valid and reliable assessments used. However, some of the limitations include parental reports that noted the self-regulation behaviors improving. Another limitation was the small sample size because of the safety and health regulations and precautions used for therapeutic riding.
Another study we looked at regarding autism spectrum disorder was a comprehensive literature review investigating the effects of equine-assisted therapy on children experiencing autism spectrum disorder. This review included 12 articles since 2009 that were selected. The results was 11 out of the 12 studies showed efficacy for increased physical and social functioning, communication, sensory sensitivity, sensory motivation, self-regulation, adaptive skills, improved volition, and a decrease in aberrant behaviors. Something I found extremely interesting about this study in particular was the consideration of the emotional bond formed between the child and the horse. It was said that the combination of social and physical communication between the child and the horse allowed the child to form a trusting bond with the animal, and in turn help the child to relax and acknowledge the developing empathy toward another animal or being. This was due to the behavior and automatic forgiveness of the horse. A horse's behavior is always an accurate response of what the horse is experiencing. Because of this, the child was able to learn how to trust something other than another human being. Strengths found in this study were individual to the type of designs that were looked at. In the qualitative research designs, a strength was the vast amount of time interviewing and observing the children. In the quasi-experimental designs, a strength was the ability to use information to generate a subsequent hypothesis. In the single-subject designs, a strength was the ability to determine a specific cause and effect relationship. A limitation found that was specific to a quasi-experimental design was the lack of random assignments and absence of specific cause and effect relationship found. In all of the studies, a big limitation was the inability to generalize findings to a bigger population due to the small number of participants in the studies.
As we said in the beginning of this video, our capstone project is to get our therapeutic riding instructor certification through PATH. The way we're able to do this is we have to complete 2 phases. For the first phase, it begins with joining PATH International. After that, we had to submit an equine management skills checklist that demonstrates the skills we have when handling horses. We also have to get CPR certified. After completing those, we have to complete online portions such as the standards course, an instructor self-study course. After all of that is completed, we will have to do the pre-certification self-assessment. After we have completed phase 1, we will be considered instructors in training. After phase 1, we can move into phase 2. During phase 2, we will have to complete 25 hours of supervised therapeutic riding instruction. For this, we will be teaching small groups and being observed by instructors already certified through PATH, such as Perry. After completing our hours, we will attend a registered instructor workshop, as well as a registered instructor certification. If we complete the workshop and pass our certification, we will be considered registered PATH International instructors.
In order to complete our 25 supervised hours of instruction, both Kat and I will be participating as instructors in the Horsepower Summer Camp this upcoming semester. We will also be looking into individual placements where we can complete the remainder of our hours in the upcoming year.
Because there are more than 800 member centers and nearly 5,000 certified professionals through PATH, we will be able to go to any centers certified through them, as well as premier accredited centers. For me, I am looking at centers located in Georgia, North Carolina, as well as potentially Washington and New Mexico.
I have already contacted a facility in Mebane, North Carolina called North Carolina Therapeutic Riding Center and have secured placement there to obtain some instructor hours this summer, as well as the upcoming year as needed. As PATH registered instructors, we have to be able to demonstrate both our capability in the saddle as well as our teaching capabilities. In order to demonstrate our abilities in the saddle, we will be asked to demonstrate our riding skills in front of a panel of judges as part of the registered instructor certification.
Lauren and I have decided to obtain our PATH TRI certification so that during graduate school we can use equine-assisted therapy and incorporate it into our discipline. While we will have our PATH certification, if we please, after we graduate from graduate school and obtain our licenses, we can go on to get hippotherapy certified.
If you would like more information about the studies reviewed in this video, They are listed below for your viewing pleasure.